Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of my Out of the Park Baseball 24 Washington Nationals playthrough. It is opening day 2023. The Washington Nationals are set to open the season with a 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves. But before we get started, I do want to take a quick look at our opening day lineups and depth charts. These were set by the manager. I'll be letting the manager, Dave Martinez, just set the lineups and depth charts for the first year. He is actually controlling, so he doesn't allow me to. But I'll probably fire him after year 1, as I said in episode 1, so that I can start controlling things. But since we're going to be bad, or very likely going to be bad, I don't mind just letting him set the lineups and depth charts for the first year. It'll kind of just make things go faster. But anyway, we got Abrams leading off, and Smith, Meneses, Candelario in the cleanup, Garcia, Ruiz, Dickerson, Call, and Robles. You can see he will, or Dave Martinez will be letting a couple guys, Lane Thomas, get at least 1 game a week. Vargas as well. The only thing that changes from left to right, Dickerson goes to the bench. Also Candelario, he lets Pinder and Thomas come in against lefties. And then for opening day, we'll have Mackenzie Gore as our number 1 starter. We'll also got Josiah Gray, Trevor Williams, Patrick Corbin, and Corey Abbott rounding out the rotation. And a couple of these ratings, or a couple of the players' ratings did change when I heard the new scouts. Now Finnegan, who was before in the closer's role, his ratings went down a bit, so he's actually in the setup. And Harvey's ratings went up a bit, so he's actually now our closer to start the season. Anyway, the way I plan to do this is to sim the first couple series of the season, just going day by day here. And then I think I'll sim a month at a time, giving updates at the beginning of every month. And I might change it up a bit down the line, but I think at least for this first episode, that's how we're going to do it. So here we go. I'm going to sim opening day versus the Braves. And a 5-8 loss. Not too surprising. Looks like it was pretty low scoring until Braves came back in the end. Unfortunate. But Mackenzie Gore with a very good start. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, only 1 earned run. Bullpen giving up a lot of runs there. Not good. But we did have opening day homers from K-Bear Ruiz and Joey Meneses. 2 hits from Dominic Smith. Only 5 hits, though. It's not a ton of offense. But hopefully the bullpen can perform better. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. Game 2 here, Gray versus Fried, and we do pick up the first win. 5-4. Looks like once again bullpen did struggle, but we're able to hang on. Lane Thomas, 3 hits. This must have been, Fried's a lefty. It's Lane Thomas. First game did hit a homer as well. In fact, actually homers from both the guys that come in against lefties. Chad Pinder with a huge game. And Dominic Smith with a 3-hit game. And another great start, Josiah Gray, 5 innings, 7 Ks. And bullpen, again, 3 guys allowing runs. But Harvey does pick up the save there after allowing a couple runs in the first game. We'll also want to check on the waiver wire every couple of days. I like to do that's an easy way to pick up some good or some decent players, especially relievers for a rebuilding team. But we'll sim the third game here against Atlanta. 1-4 loss. Okay start from Trevor Williams, 6 strikeouts over 5 innings, but didn't allow any homers, but 7 hits. And good to see the bullpen bounce back there. First appearance for Mason Thompson. And Joey Meneses hits his second home run. 2 hits for him and a walk. Candelario doing some things, but not too much offense in that one either. But we'll now take on the Rays for a 3-game series. Got Patrick Corbin against Jeffrey Springs. High scoring game here, but a 7-9 loss yet again. Bullpen blows it. Gonna need to get some new arms up there pretty quick. But Chad Pinder again starting against a lefty and doing very good. Luis Garcia also with a 3-hit game. Homer actually from Victor Robles, nice to see, and of course Chad Pinder again. Yes, Corbin got kind of blown up, only 1K. Erasmo Ramirez, the long reliever, pitched the rest of the game, 5 1/3 innings, and 7 Ks, which is kind of impressive, but he also allowed 4 runs. Another loss, 5-7. Looks like this time we got a bad start. Yeah, Mackenzie Gore. This is something I don't like. The AI sometimes does. Sometimes they pitch your number 1 starter, or they kind of like skip your number 5 starter if the number 1 starter is ready. They're going to pitch Abbott now, but yeah, I don't like how they do that sometimes. So Gore got a second start before Abbott even got his first one. But yeah, Gore gets blown up a bit. Thad Ward making his first appearance, 3 innings. No home runs in that game, but 2 hits from Abrams and Ruiz. Corey Dickerson actually off to a hot start. Looks like he's 4 for his first 7. Now going up against the Rays, Ace McClanahan versus Abbott. Definitely not a good pitching matchup here. And yeah, McClanahan shut us down. 1 run, 3 hits. Triple from Garcia, but yeah, the first 3 batters got hits, but that's it. No walks either. Yeah, wow, gem from McClanahan there. But Abbott actually pitched decently, although looks like an error on Abrams, or 2 unearned runs there. But bullpen definitely pitching better in this series. Let's see, we got a 4-game series here against Colorado. I think I'll go game by game through this one, and then we'll just sim out the rest of the month. We also have Israel Pineda coming back in a day, but I think I'm just going to send him down to the minors. So anyway, let's start this Rockies series. Whoa, a huge 14-4 win. Finally, offense really gets going. Let's see, only 1 home run, though, from Garcia, but a couple triples, lots of doubles. Candelario with a 3-hit, 5 RBI game. Lane Thomas a 3-hit game. Dickerson continues to be hot. Nice start from Luis Garcia as well. And then Josiah Gray, 2-0. Okay start there, but bullpen was strong. Game 2 here, another win, 9-7. So lots of high-scoring games here. Just going to send Pineda down to the minors. Lane Thomas again, another home run, and Vargas off the bench for the homer, the utility player. Chad Pinder, 2 more hits. Joey Meneses, 2 more hits. So offense actually doing pretty solid so far. A lot of guys I didn't expect to be doing much are doing really well so far. Trevor Williams struggled a bit again. Harvey, though, with his second save. Yeah, really bad pitching so far. Last in the National League in runs against. Although actually second in FIP. Looks like the defense has been kind of bad. We're first in pitching WAR somehow. So, yeah, maybe they need to look deeper into how these guys are doing. It's only 8 games, though. And another high-scoring win. We're back to 4-5 with 3 in a row here against the Rockies. Lane Thomas again. Wow, he is just crushing lefties right now. That already .7 WAR. Yeah, I'd probably like my manager to be playing him every day, but maybe he should just be playing against lefties. Dominic Smith with 2 hits. Chad Pinder, another hit and RBI. So we're definitely crushing lefties so far. Patrick Corbin, we need him to do better in this. But, I mean, are playing in Colorado. Hunter Harvey does pick up 3rd save despite allowing a couple earned runs. I'm going to check the waiver wire again real quick. Nick Gordon. We definitely could use Nick Gordon as a utility player, like over someone like Vargas. Yeah, I'll have to. I don't think I'm going to claim right now. I might sim this last game and then think about that. Another win, so we do get the 4-game sweep of the Rockies, a huge series from the offense. Abrams and Ruiz each with 4 hits. Second triple of the year from Abrams. How about that? Corey Dickerson, who I was kind of hating on in the first video, is 8 for his first 16. Not starting every game, but I guess he's starting as righty, so he should start the majority of the games. But yeah, how about that? Corey Dickerson, red hot right now. Vargas as well. Basically, all the like utility guys or guys aren't playing every day are playing super well. And then Gore with an okay start. Bullpen though pitched well. So not a bad start to the year. 5-5. Look at first in runs scored, and now second to last in runs against. So an interesting start to the year. Definitely was not expecting this from the offense. But I think with that said, I'll sim up to May, and I'll cut back in once we get there. Here we are at May 1st now, and as you can see, it was not a good month of April for the Washington Nationals. We're now 8-19, and that featured a 9-game losing streak after we started, let's see, 7-7, I believe. Yes, we lost 9 in a row, so things started out decent, as you saw when we simmed those first 3 series, but really took a turn for the worst after that. There are some bright spots, though, especially if some of the offensive performances, if we sort by WRC+. Dominic Smith, extremely good, hitting .375. Lane Thomas, Keibert Ruiz, Corey Dickerson, and Abrams and Vargas all hitting above average. You notice Jeter Downs is up. That's because Chad Pinder, only a 10-day injury, so just put him on the 10-day IL. He's about to come back already. So Downs just a couple plate appearances. Here at the bottom, we did claim Juan Centeno off waivers. I preferred him to be my backup catcher versus Kevin Plawecki for a few reasons. He's got better defense. He's 60-55, while I believe Plawecki was 55-45. And he's also got high leader, work ethic, and intelligence, while his bat is basically the same. So just a small improvement there, probably. Just ended up DFAing Plawecki. So overall, offense actually surprisingly good. You can see here, 5th in hits, 4th in batting average, 4th on OPS, but WAR not very good. Home runs not very good. And we're not striking out a lot, which is not surprising because we've got a couple of guys with really high avoid Ks. But our base running's been terrible. And then the pitching side, not good here either. Although interesting, their WAR is much, and I think our FIP is much higher than our ERAs, which is probably because our defense has been horrible, which is a little bit surprising. We got Robles in center, Abrams at shortstop, Garcia at second are probably hurting us. But 15th in defensive efficiency, 13th in zone rating. But taking a look at a couple of the pitchers. So Trevor Williams, he 5.64 ERA, but a 1.99 FIP. So he's actually been really good. Hasn't allowed a home run. He's had really good control. His control actually went up when we got an accurate scouting report, so that's good to see. Yeah, so hopefully he can keep this up, lower his ERA, and can trade him at the deadline. Mason Thompson, easily been our best reliever. And then you can see a lot of guys here with much higher ERAs than FIPS. I mean, like Finnegan, an 8.68 ERA, but just a 3.37 FIP. So it'd be really nice if a lot of these ERAs can fall back to the mean. But I think it's the defense hurting us a lot. I did also, you notice, I DFA'd Carl Edwards Jr. I mean, he was just so bad. I mean, I'm really surprised by this. I thought he could do decent for us, but a 17.36 ERA and 9.1 innings. I mean, I DFA'd him about a week ago, then brought him back just to try him out again. He allowed 3 earned runs over an inning, and yeah, I'm just gonna have to release him now, I think. Did call up Chad Kuhl to replace him. We also tried out, let's see, where is he? Yeah, we also called up Evan Lee for one appearance, but he was terrible as well, so just sent him right back down. So yeah, not a lot of good stuff so far for the Nationals, but it's to be expected. Really, we just need the defense to play better. And yeah, I mean, honestly, the starting pitching hasn't been as bad as I thought it'd be. When you look at the FIPS, a lot better for a lot of these guys. But the offense too, also, bright spots like Dominic Smith, Corey Dickerson, K-Burr has been really good. So I think with that, I'll sim to June and get back to you guys then. We are now at June 1st, and it was a bit of a better month for the Washington Nationals. We went 12-17 in May, and now sit at a 20-36 overall record. Interestingly, we're right at our Pythagorean record, but a lot of these offensive categories dropped off for us. We were definitely higher in batting average, now just 12th in on base, 11th in slugging. Really don't hit any home runs. We're still good at not striking out. We also don't take much walks, and we're really bad in base running. Defense looks like it actually got better last month. Now 6th in zone rating, still 13th in defensive efficiency, but I think it's not hurting us as much as it was the first month. You can see we're also doing well in one-run games, which probably helped us do a bit better in May. But this was also a much more eventful month in terms of transactions. We'll start at the beginning of the month. This was the second time I DFA'd Carl Edwards Jr. He was just so bad for us. We just couldn't keep playing him. Looks like he did get signed to a minor league contract by the White Sox, but just an almost 18 ERA and 9 in the third innings. Just couldn't have that anymore. Chad Pinder did come back. And then Corey Dickerson got injured. I think that was like a 4-week injury. He's been out for a couple weeks now. Still got a couple weeks before he returns, which was a bit disappointing because he was playing really well. Hopefully he keeps it up because maybe he can be a trade candidate. But then on May 12th, very eventful day, we did make our first trade. As you can see, we traded Dominic Smith to the Tampa Bay Rays, really taking advantage of his incredible start to the season. A 350 average, 400 on base, almost 140 OPS plus within the first 35 games. And of course, he's done terrible with the Rays since the trade. But yeah, I think we did pretty good on this trade. So we also gave up, we had to throw in a random minor leaguer, 24-year-old, with not much potential, so just a throw in. But we got back 2 guys, Jonathan Aranda, mainly a first baseman, but I'm trying to train him up in the outfield. He's probably ready for the majors. As you can see, he's destroying AAA, especially since we acquired him. But I'm going to let him stay down a little bit more to train up on some positions. 'Cause he could end up being our first baseman, though, pretty soon. We also acquired Taylor Walls. I was mainly interested in him for his defensive ability. He's probably a better shortstop than Abrams. Much better second baseman than Garcia. I did, put him on the majors right away. My manager had him starting at second base, but look at that, 0 for 16 in 5 games. Did walk once, but yeah, I sent him down. I'd seen enough there. I'm sure he'll be back up at some point, but 0 for 16 is not good enough. So, but let's see. So we called up Yadiel Hernandez. He's kind of filling in the DH left field role. We've moved Meneses to first after trading Dominic Smith. We'll look at the lineups more in a bit. Keber Ruiz did get hurt. He is back now. It's just, I think it was a 10-day or 2-week injury or something. So we called up Pineda for a little bit. He's destroying AAA. Only got 2 starts for us, though. I did give Evan Lee another chance, but another blow-up outing. He's looking really good in AAA, but I'm sure he'll get called up again at some point. Only 4 innings, but pretty bad so far. So Carter Kieboom came back from injury. He's still on a rehab assignment. I'm kind of letting him stay down the entire rehab since he's back from such a major injury. And also so I can train him up on some positions. I have him forced starting at first right now. I did right field for a bit, but his progression was so slow on there, which is strange because he has high adaptability. But he can definitely play the outfield better in the infield. So I'll call him up in a few days. Not sure how long he's going to stay up in the majors though, but he could be an outfielder for us. And then another big thing, we claimed Jonathan Daza off of waivers. Like his defensive ability and his contact and avoid Ks. Spray hitter, he's ground ball, which isn't great, but very good defender at all 3 outfield spots, which we're, with our outfield defense the way it is, we needed another guy other than Robles who can at least play solid defense in the outfield. He's 10 games started. He's starting mostly in right field for us. Hasn't done much though, but just a waiver claim. So he's also an Ironman, which is interesting. So he's like never gonna get injured. But maybe he could be a 4th outfielder for us in the future. We'll just have to see there. Let's see. Ramirez got injured. Abbott's kind of been getting shuffled up and down from the minors. We did make another waiver claim, though, with Steven Nogasek to help out the bullpen. Fortunately, he had a blow-up outing as well in his second one with us. But, he's got solid ratings. I guess the extreme fly ball might not be good for us. But, yeah, just another waiver claim. He might get, if he struggles for us for a bit, he might get DFA'd. But he's a better option than a lot of our guys right now. Let's see, that's it for transactions. So let's take a look at overall. So yeah, you can see a lot of these guys have dropped off. Of course, like Dickerson's on the IL, but funny enough, Chad Pinder has been our best offensive player. 5 home runs. It was really good for him. So definitely been a nice utility player, starting every day against lefties. Lane Thomas also currently just starting against lefties. Since we have Daza in right field against righties. So Lane Thomas has been pretty good as well. Might need to get him more playing time. We'll just have to see. And then Yadiel Hernandez has been all right. Well, actually, no, I guess. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized this is AAA. There we go. Yes, that didn't really change much, but Meneses has been league average. He was a lot worse. He's gotten going a bit recently. I think the move to first helped him because he's really bad defensively in the outfield. Not great at first either. Candelario has cooled off, which is unfortunate because I'd really like to trade him. I have tried shopping him around, but his $5 million salary seems like it's going to be a bit hard to move. Fortunately, Dominic Smith was only making $2 million, which is why it was pretty easy to move without retaining anything. Luis Garcia has been all right. I'd love him to play third eventually when we get, or when Candelario eventually leaves the team, whether trade or free agency. So yeah, not good defensively at second, but he's got the arm for third. And then a lot of the other guys just not really doing much. Yeah, it's pretty disappointing what Abrams has done so far. He was looked like 2 weeks ago, his numbers were looking pretty good, but he's cooled off a lot recently. Honestly, I wonder if Abrams might be an outfielder long term because he does have 65 range. I mean, I like his hitting profile with contact, avoid case. This can develop, but he's definitely not a shortstop long term for us. And then yeah, just some utility guys down at the bottom. Looking at the pitching real quick. Not a ton has changed. Trevor Williams still bad ERA, but good FIP. I did shop him around a bit too, and he definitely is movable. I'm definitely have to retain some of this contract, but I won't be able to get much for him, but something, especially if he keeps if he keeps this up. Hopefully his ERA can go down. The bullpen's been fine. Mason Thompson, Hunter Harvey doing well. Band has a decent FIP. I'd like to see better numbers from Finnegan, but like Chad Cole will take this 5.17 ERA from him. Cronin's definitely been disappointing. I thought he could be a solid lefty out of our bullpen. I've been thinking about sending him down, but I don't know. With him being a lefty, I don't really want to. I'm not sure there's really a better option we have in AAA. And then Thad Ward, Thad Ward and Corey Abbott have kind of been swapping places as the fifth starter. But Thad Ward had a bad start, so he moved back to the bullpen. Yeah, but Corey Abbott, well, his ERA is pretty bad, but yeah, no, his FIP's not very good either. I'm not sure how he has positive WAR, but yeah, I'd rather not have him on the team or on the majors. But one of the issues, well, first of all, the guys I've been bringing up haven't been better. Also, every time I call someone up who isn't on the 40-man, it adds money, because they get the $720,000 minimum contract, and so that takes more money away from this, which we're not looking very good for the draft. I was only able to put $12 million into the draft budget, and we have the second overall pick, so we're gonna have to go under slot for a lot of our draft picks probably. Because even if I move like Candelario and Williams, it's gonna free up like only half of this, or depending on when I trade them, because we'll have already paid some of this by the time I move them, and so I don't think we're really going to be able to free up more money for the draft. So yeah, unfortunately, we're probably going to be stuck taking guys under slot, which it's not the end of the world, but it'll be interesting. I'll have to figure something out there, but I think that wraps up the May recap. So yeah, I think I'll sim up one more month, maybe go up to the draft before we wrap up the episode. But I'll definitely see you guys when I get to July. Here we are at July 1st, and it was a bit of a better month for the Washington Nationals. We went 12-13 in June, now sitting a record of 32-49. We're officially halfway through the season, but we are 22 games back of the division, definitely out of contention here, which is what I expected coming into the season. I'm perfectly fine with this record, just to try to get a high draft pick for next year. It was a pretty uneventful month, though. No trades. I didn't make any waiver claims. There are a couple guys who I sent down in the minors or called back up, particularly Sean Doolittle, who's pitching super well in AAA, and now he's pitched super well for us in the majors. 1.69 ERA in 10 2/3 innings. FIP pretty good too at 2.9. I did end up sending down Matt Cronin to call him up. Cronin's ERA was still above 7, and Doolittle was pitching so well. I wanted to call up Doolittle because he's a lefty, but also sent down a lefty. Rotation still not looking great. We've had Thad Ward pitching in the rotation the last couple of times around. We had Corey Abbott there, and he was doing terrible. We've tried a couple other guys, but unfortunately, we're really weak at starting pitching right now, and so the Rule 5 draft pick Thad Ward has been in there for now. You can see not done good in the rotation. He's had a couple of okay starts, but you can see his ERA really fallen off a couple points recently. I mean, he did start the season off really well, but since being in the rotation, it's not gone well. But if we sort by FIP, you can see, unfortunately, Trevor Williams, his ERA, I guess, has gone down a tiny bit, but that FIP is climbing back up. I did try shopping him around again, him and Candelario a couple times over the month, but there still really isn't anything popping up unless, even if I retain all of Candelario's salary, which we can take a look at him, still below average WRC plus. I believe this has fallen a bit in the past month. I mean, he has 0.7 WAR, but I mean, he doesn't, he's only making $5 million. So honestly, I would have thought I could have got something for him. But right now, unless I lower the trade difficulty, which I am actually considering, bumping it down maybe one notch. Yeah, it's currently second notch from the highest. So I'm considering bumping that down just a touch. Because, I feel like I should be able to get something. Whether it's just a, really bad prospect, just something for like Candelario or Williams. Because unless I retain all of Trevor Williams' salary, I can't even get anything. The only things I can get are, fringe major league 26-year-olds. So not much there. We are getting some good performances from the bullpen though. Victor Arano has come back from injury. Only a 5.4 ERA, but a solid FIP. Just 6 2/3 innings so far. Mason Thompson, Anthony Banda, Hunter Harvey have all been good. Nogasek had a really good month. You can see here, 3.55 ERA in June after we claimed him at the end of May. But looking at some of the hitters here, Joey Meneses has been kind of on fire over the past month. Ever since we moved him to first, he's done really well. See, 125 OPS plus in June. Hit 5 homers. So really good stuff from him. But only 3 guys above average. Chad Pinder is still hitting well, and then surprisingly, Ildemardo Vargas had a super good month. He's still just doing a utility role, though. But yeah, unfortunately, Corey Dickerson has fallen way off, which makes sense for his ratings, but it would have been nice if he could have kept up his performance so we could trade him. But Jonathan Daza, he was doing well, but he's cooled off recently. But he's still playing decently for us, so I'm happy with that claim. Another thing I want to do is take a look at a couple of prospects that are doing really well. Particularly James Wood, who I've now called up to AAA. And he's just crushing AA there. Hit 9 homers in just 46 games. And he's doing really good in AAA. I don't think I'm going to call him up until next year, because I don't want to start his service time clock. And I'd definitely like him to develop a bit more, but he probably could be called up now. But I definitely want to wait a bit on that. Robert Hassel is still in AA. He's been okay, but definitely want to see some of these ratings come up and see him hit a bit better before sending him to AAA. And then Andre Lara, I just sent him up to high A. So he's only pitching an A ball, but it pitched super well. 2.02 ERA in 10 starts. And then Armando Cruz, very interesting shortstop prospect. I might actually just send him up to high A right now. His ratings aren't really there, except for his defense. But he's hitting well. 2.7 WAR. Yeah, I think I will just send him to high A. His batting ratings don't look ready, but He's playing, like he's definitely ready for high A. Only 19 too, which is nice to see him already moving up. Let's see here. I think that's going to do it though for this episode. Next time we will start with the draft. I will run through probably at least 5 rounds of the draft on camera. So that'll be very interesting then. We might try to get through the rest of the regular season. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.